Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is of course Life with Nessa and I'm Nessa today. Well, you just saw the hand. Naya is being the camera person today. Alright, so today I wanted to talk to us about types of income, the different types of income that we have and how to make our money work for us. So there are two types of income. There is active income and then there's passive income. What we've been talking about this whole time about freelancing and working online, all of that is called active income. Now, active income, as it says, is where you're actively engaged in working for money. So you're exchanging your time and your skills for money, right? Now, when it comes on to passive income is the opposite of that. Passive income is where you are earning with little to no effort, which really means your money is working for you. Alrighty, so we want to talk about passive income today. We've talked about active income quite a lot, and we will continue to talk about active income, but I just wanted to talk about passive income, and I'll tell you why for later on. Please stay tuned. So the different types of passive income that we have investments, and I have a list because my brain. So we have investments, we have rental properties, we have intellectual properties, and those are just examples of passive income. And today we're going to be talking about investment as a passive income. Now, a lot of us might be saying, one, I don't have enough money to invest, or I don't know how to invest, or any of those things. And the reality is that may be true. Investments and how to acquire real estate and how to use intellectual property to gain a source of income isn't something that is taught to us like on a day-to-day basis. It's not a part of any curriculum from we go into school until we leave, correct? And so it might seem intimidating. If this is information you want, you generally have to go out and seek it for yourself. You have to go find it, whether it be via YouTube, or you're going to buy a course, or you're going to see somebody somewhere, you're going to get professional advice. It's usually something you have to actively go and find out about, because it's not something that's taught to us. The information isn't readily available. Now, how did I learn about passive income? First of all, I've always been interested in passive income, making my money work for me. Now, today we're going to be talking about, as I said before, investments, and we're going to talk about my first time being introduced to investments, or especially in the form of stocks, which is what we're talking about today. Which is what we're talking about today, right? So, I was first introduced to stocks when I was in high school, and we had a trip. My business, I was a business student, so I did business. I also did sciences, but that was my major course of study. Business. So my business teacher at the time, I think her name is Miss Wilmot, if I'm remembering correctly. She took us on a field trip, a handful of us, on a field trip to the Jamaica Stock Exchange, and there were a presentation by Marlene Street Forest, who I think she still works at the Jamaica Stock Exchange. I don't remember in what capacity, but she was there, and that was a long time ago because I left school more than 10 years ago. And at the time, they used to have this game. Well, yes, I'm going to call this a game, if my memory is serving me correctly, where high schoolers and university students would participate in, where they would learn to trade on the Jamaica Stock Exchange, and those in like a simulation vibe, and those who gained the most based on the principles that were taught and whatever, they would actually win a prize. And I saw that, and that was my first exchange. So we actually went to Kingston, we went to the JSC, we heard presentations, and this was always something that was cemented in me. Like, I didn't really understand everything at the point still, but it piqued my interest. And then over the years, I've actually just been something like at the back of my head, I'm like, I want to invest in stocks, because I've seen or I've heard where stocks can be a valuable source of income. It can allow you to be earning without having to work. This is basically making your money work for you. And there are people who are earning notable incomes monthly from the Jamaica Stock Exchange, or from stocks overall. Now, over the years, I've seen many creators or content creators, and I've seen a lot of things go on. And the reality is my interest is still peaked. Now, over the years, I've also tried to invest myself without any real knowledge, because the reality is a lot of Jamaicans will say, oh, I'm involved in stock, but they don't have the requisite information to say, this is how I trade. This is why I make the trades that I make. This is why I buy the stocks that I buy. This is how I work out what stocks to buy. This is how I identify a good stock, and how do I go about investing in the correct way. Right? Really and truly, a lot of Jamaicans, we are just investing on vibes. We get up, I will feel like, or on emotion, based on the amount of hype that is put around a particular stock, especially when you have things like IPOs coming out, right? When you have an IPO coming out, depending on the investment house that is responsible for the IPO, they do is that when a new IPO is coming out and a particular investment house is responsible for it, they will pump so much money into advertising and just getting people riled up and excited for the IPO that when it does come out, you hear it's oversubscribed. No, first of all, a lot of us, what is an IPO? What does it even mean? Now, IPO really means initial public offering, right? And what does it really mean? All of the relevant information, right? That we should have about these things, we don't necessarily have it. We all want to get into stocks, or majority of the population or people want to get into stocks, but you don't necessarily have the requisite information to make informed choices, and that is a problem. Because the reality is, whatever you're doing, if you don't have enough information, adequate information, correct information, you don't know exactly what to do, how to do it, you don't know a formula, and there's a formula required, you don't have the relevant know-how, you are prone to make mistakes, and your journey is going to be harder than it needs to be. Now, as freelancers, as self-employed people, entrepreneur, whether you're, and even as people who are employed, the reality is you cannot save to wealth. The likelihood of you saving to wealth, and I'm not saying saving to a million or saving to riches, I'm saying saving to wealth. Wealth where you can take care of your expenses, you can take care of your family, you are set for retirement. You cannot save your way to wealth. There are notable people who have made business choices or who have some special skill or accolade that has allowed them to acquire wealth early on in life without having to invest per se or whatever. But the reality is you can acquire a certain amount of money, but in order to sustain and to grow that, you must look into passive income. When you're consistently trading your time for money, your skill for money, you are only as good or as profitable as your last deal, your last job, your last contract. You're only as profitable as that. Whenever your contract ends, right, your source of income has ended there. If you wake up one morning and you're unable to fulfill your contractual obligations, whether you're freelancing or whether you're working a 9-to-5 job, whenever you are unable, especially for prolonged periods, to fulfill your contractual obligations, you're going to have a problem. It means now that your income stream is going to dry up. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but one of the things that has really broken my heart especially is to see people 60, 70, 80 years old, maybe not that old, but older than they should be out working, hustling, still in the market, still on the roadside, still at the school gate, still whatever. Why? Because over the years, we have grown so accustomed to just working for our money that we haven't let our money work for us. And that's what I want to encourage us today to do. No, not knowing how to trade or trading on any stock exchange might be daunting. It's a daunting task. And so in this point of the video, I want to introduce you to a new product. Now, we all know that I was a part of the Money Society as led by Anna Palomino. And I encourage you guys all the time, go follow her on Instagram, go follow her on YouTube, watch her content. It is something that you can learn from. She has something that you can learn from, right? Now, when I was in the Money Society, I was introduced again to trading, but this time I was thoroughly educated on the whys, the whatever, the nitty-gritty of trade, how to do it, what stocks to choose, how to choose your stocks, how to build your portfolio, the whole 9 yards. I went through that, correct? And it is something that has stayed with me, and it is something that I am now looking into going. Now, the reason why I personally haven't started trading before now was that my portfolio was set a particular way, and being a part of the Money Society, I was in the overdrive program, which means that my portfolio was looked at on a whole and it was adjusted on a whole. So it's not just to go out and start investing. It was looked at on a whole, and the places that were seen to be weaknesses and weak areas were strengthened. Certain foundation was laid before I went on to invest. And so I'm at the point now where I can invest. And coincidentally, it is around the time when Anna has launched her investment course. The name of the course is Investment Made Easy. And guys, I'm going to put a snippet of the course. I'm going to put a snippets of the course in the video so you can just look at it. Now, one of the things that you might be saying is that, oh, look what's been happening in recent times. People have gotten their money stolen. People have been defrauded on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. So many things have been happening. And you're right. There have been these instances, and there will always be a risk when it is that you're doing anything, especially if you're not doing it with 100% yourself, right? Once you start to outsource your business, there's always a risk. Once you start, whatever it is, it don't even matter what it is. Once you start to outsource, there is always a risk. Now I'm going to put an excerpt from the course right here, which addresses that.
You've probably heard some horror stories about investing in the stock market. I would not be an honest person if I were to tell you that there are absolutely no horror stories as it relates to the stock market. There are people who have lost so much money from the market. There are people who have been defrauded by other people on the market. And at this point, you may be wondering, what's the point of all of this then? Well, here's the thing. I did tell you in the introduction that you don't have a choice but to invest in the stock market. So what it means is you just need to understand how to do it. You need to understand thoroughly and in great detail what you're doing. You never, ever, ever trust anybody, not even me, with your money 100%. You need to always understand what's going on with your money, right?
All right, great. Now that you've watched that, right? The reality is there is truth in the fact that there is a risk, but that excerpt also told you why it is that you cannot afford not to invest. Investment should be a part of everybody's life. Now, if you want to build generational wealth for yourself and your kids and your great grandkids and all those nice things, you are looking into investments. The other things that we talked about, including which are forms of passive income like real estate or intellectual property. Intellectual property, of course, can be a form of earning passive income if you're going to write an ebook, sell a course, stuff like that. Those you have to do one time and then you set them loose the correct way and they can earn you money consistently over time, right? But the reality is, how many of us are really going to sit down and write a book or set up a course or whatever that will cause us to generate a great amount of wealth continuously over the years? Not many of us. There has been this great uproar of writing like journals and those nice things that you go on Amazon and see, but the reality is that the market for those is oversaturated, right? Everybody's doing it because it seems so easy to do. So everybody's doing it. So if you're going to go in that, you have to look at the competition, that the market is saturated, how quickly you're going to make a sale, how much you have to set your pricing point at in order to make a sale consistently, and how many units you're going to have to really make any sort of money. Good? But with stocks and investments, right, even if the whole way I buy stocks, there is always a way for money to be made, especially if you're purchasing what are called dividend-paying stocks. Good? Now, you might be thinking to yourself, I want to learn, but not sure. I'm going to put another excerpt of the course right here.
If you're not a formula kind of person, I totally get it. I'm not a formula kind of person myself, which I think is probably why you're really going to enjoy this part in the course, because I've distilled everything down to standard, plain English, because I had to go through this whole, what does it mean, what does it mean, and I had to process it for me to understand and appreciate it. So I think you're gonna enjoy this part in the course. The PE ratio, the word ratio itself, it basically means that you're looking at two factors in relation to each other. That's what the word ratio means. PE ratio means price to earnings ratio. So you're looking at the price in relation to the earnings of the company. Stop buying stocks because of vibes. What if you could establish a stream of income from the Jamaican stock market to help you pay your bills on a monthly basis? You be interested? Well, if you are, you need to go take my investment course, Investing Made Easy, where I teach you my investment strategy that I have taught over 1,000 clients. In fact, if you know any of my clients, you can ask them, how do you find Anna's investment strategy? Do you feel like you understand stocks now? Do you understand how the stock market works? Can you assess and analyze a stock? Can you tell me why you own the stock? They will be able to answer you, and I'm confident in that. If you want to be like that, you need to take my course. The course is very easy. If you're familiar with my teaching style, you know that I'm a very straightforward person, very sharp shooter. I give you what you need to know and you're gonna be ready to go in just under 2 hours. Go get the course.
Great. Now that you've seen that, The reality is this course, and it has just launched, by the way, and also I must put a disclaimer here, I am an affiliate of the course, which means that if you purchase the course with the link that I'm going to put in the description for this video or anywhere on my social media, I do get a portion of sale. No, I'm not telling you have to buy anything. I'm just telling you why I think it's a good idea for you to buy. I myself have a product of the course. I've seen where it has changed my mindset when it comes on to investment, where I know what to do, how to do it, and I'm more confident in approaching the stock exchange. I'm not approaching it from vibes or emotions or having an investment house lead drive up my emotions to say, yeah, that stock can go on, good on, whatever the case might be. I'm making informed choices, and that for me means a lot. Along with the opportunity to make money, as the last excerpt product told you that, listen, this can turn out to you getting monthly, having your bills covered monthly by the returns that you're getting from the stock exchange. And who wouldn't want that? I don't know about anybody else, but I don't love to work. I work because I have to, because I need to, not because it's something that I love, right? Sometimes I would want to wake up and just not, just beep, just bum. I'm gonna say that. Just mind my own business, live, read a book, go to sleep, mind my own business. I know that my life is taken care of because I'm deciding to use my time this way. Doesn't mean that I'm reducing my earning capacity, stuff like that. Those type of anxieties are things that I want to alleviate, as well as things I want going forward that my family can be comfortable about. We want to take a trip, we would have to be penny pinching and whatever the case might be, we can say, hey, where am I going to get this source of income from? How much am I getting in now? How do I need to get to the place where I need to do that? And as I said earlier, for people who are 60 and 70 and they're still working, the reality is they've always been working for money. But at what point is your money going to work for you? And this teaches you that it helps you to sustainably plan for your retirement and be confident that you will be taken care of in old age. People always say, Jamaicans have this saying that, oh, my pitney, my pension. No, ma'am, no, sir. That's not accurate. What if your pitney dead before you? God forbid. But what if your child passes before you? What if your child comes with a disability? What if your child is just doing business with you? I want to live them life, which they are entitled to. We are mothers and fathers. We are stewards of their life. We're not the owners, and they are not indebted to us in any way. And that is my personal belief, at least. Good. So if it is that you want to make a change in your life, you are still responsible for the course of your life and how it ends up, even when you have children. You are now not allowed to pass off the burden to them, to say, hey, one must take care of me because me have one. No. And I think especially for those on here, listen, and I want to tell you, investment is work. It is not active work, but it is work. Work, one, to get the correct information, which the course that I'm telling you about now will provide, and work, two, to ensure that you stay consistent with investing. Now, if it is that you need, you might say, stock up here like $1 per dividend share, per dividend for each share, and me have $5,000. Now, the reality is you can't just get up tomorrow and take $5 million and buy stock and expect to get a big dividend check. But if you break down that $5 million, right, over time, how much can I invest each month? Okay, I can invest 5,000, I can invest 10,000, I can invest 50,000. That means that for this particular stock that I've identified, over time, I need to purchase XYZ amount of shares. If I purchase XYZ amount every month, say 20,000 shares every month, in the next 2 years, I will be getting this amount on my dividend check. And you make that first purchase and you consistently put in the amount every month. Consistency is key. And a lot of times the other day, the Jamaica Stock Exchange lost some money and people were just kind of wild and oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. There are times that people just selling their shares because the world's on fire. And there are times when people are just trying to buy back shares and buy back shares and buy back shares. When you know how the stock exchange works, when you know how investment works, you don't fall into the trap of emotions. You are more prepared to make sound financial decisions. Another thing, people might be like, oh, I trade Forex. Great. And I am not telling anybody not to do that. You're free to trade whatever you want. But the reality is, and you can look this up, it's on the internet, and it's true. The Jamaica Stock Exchange is one of the best performing stock exchanges in the world. Not in the Caribbean, not even in the Americas. In the world, one of the best performing stock exchanges. And you have people who are from outside looking to Jamaica to invest because of how our stock exchange is. And I think as Jamaicans, we need to learn to step out of the box, to step out of what we've thought. Now, you might have say, I'm going to take by stock, I'm going to go buy a taxi, put on the road. A taxi on the road, yes, it can earn you money, but is it passive? No. You have to have a driver if it's not going to be you, and you have to actively look for drivers all the time. Insurance, you're looking at road license, you're looking at police, you're looking at ticket, you're looking at maintenance of the vehicle. Worse if this vehicle go crash, you are looking at civil suits if people are injured. Worse if people, God forbid, were to lose their life, right? It can be a bigger liability than it is a source of income. And whatever else you're looking into, the reality is, don't you want to have your money work for you? Now, the Investing Made Easy course, as marketed by Anna Palomino, and you'll see that I'm not the only ambassador, I'm not the only affiliate. You have other people who are affiliates, and so you can look around, right? This course has now launched, and it's for $90 US. Now, hear me out. Many of us are spending $90 on wigs, on vanity, on things that there is no return. They are consumer items. Cool? I'm going to bash nobody because cool, and you're allowed to treat yourself. You work hard, you can treat yourself, that's fine. But wouldn't you want to invest your money in yourself? This is knowledge, and when you buy the course, you will have it lifetime access. So it's not a one-time jump up, brought out something. No, you have lifetime access to the course. The information is there. She teaches you the strategies. There are 7 modules, I believe. There's a bonus module that she added. There are 7 modules, and you go through thoroughly, clearly, the information that is required that you will need, correct? And so the launch price is $90 US, and if you click my link that I'm going to put in the description, it will take you directly to the course and you can make your purchase. And also, just a bonus feature is that in sometime in June, I believe it is, she will be having a rap session, so to speak. She hasn't named it yet, but I'm naming it a rap session, where those who are deemed early bird purchasers, those who purchased the course was launched last night. I lost my words there. The course was launched last night, which is what, May 11th, right? And the $90 price that I'm telling you about, it goes on for the next 3 weeks. Now, if it is that you purchase in the early bird section, you will also have access to the wrap session where you can come, you can sit down with her, you can talk to her on virtually, by the way. You can talk to her about, or it may change, but virtually for now, you can talk to her about the stock choices you have, if you have any misconceptions, if you need clarity on anything. That will be afforded. That opportunity will be afforded to you, but only if you're part of the early bird purchasers. Now, as I said before, this course is jam-packed with information. I sat through this course and telling you, I have an accounting background, and at the end of the day, it meant little to nothing because I was learning everything from scratch, and the information was just jam-packed. It was so much. She even teaches you her personal investment strategy, which she does make money from the Jamaican Stock Exchange. She has income coming in consistently from it. Dividend checks. She's always showing her Amazon checks and her dividend checks if you're following her on Instagram. And so this is not something that she hasn't tried, tested, and proven. She tells you what her strategy is and how to implement it in your life. And the reality is, guys, look, you can reap benefits from it. It is not impossible for you to broke out of brokenness, not with Lucky 5 or any other gambling entity, but legitimately, strategically making yourself and your family wealthy and changing your background and your future. No, well, not your background, but changing your outlook, your circumstances, and that of your family. No, I want to say, if it is that you guys have any questions that you want to ask, I'm thinking of going live on Instagram one of these days. You guys can tell me if that's something you would want me to do. I will go live. I'll answer the questions that you might have. We can talk. You can always shoot me a message on Instagram. I will respond as quickly as I can. Leave a comment down in the comment section if there's anything additional you'd want to know. And of course, if you did like this video, if you found it helpful, you can always like and share. If you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe. I'm really grateful for the support that this channel has been getting so far, and I hope that it will grow to bigger and better things. And so, guys, I just wanted to tell you about that, how great it is to have your money work for you. Like, you earn it, you know. Because many of us don't realize money is a tool, it's a resource. It's not, I don't know what or perception of it is. It's a treasure, it's a tool. You need to put it to work. Let your money work for you. And of course, the course is called Investing Made Easy. There are excerpts here. I'll put some also at the end of the video so you can just look at it and see that's something you'd be interested in. My link will be in the description. You use it to purchase. Yes, I do get a small commission, but you will also get it at the $90 price that it has launched at now. I want to say thank you again for watching. I do again appreciate all of the support that we've been getting. This is Life with Nessa and I hope this video was helpful. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Mwah. Bye. Bye-bye.